Good afternoon. I am Colonel Billy Wilson, the commander of basic military training. I'm glad we had this opportunity to have a discussion. So, why are you here? I will tell you that you are here to train both your body and your mind.
Be better every day. Be better.
You are here to train your body and your mind. Not one or the other, both. I often ask new recruits, why the Air Force? And I often get, well, I want to be part of an institution. I want to be part of something that is larger than myself.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
There will be stress. It will be stressful. And I will tell you that it is stressful by design. So the question remains, when you start feeling stressed out, what are you going to do? Are you going to react or are you going to respond? I expect you to respond to the demands that are being placed upon you, pushing you out of your comfort zone, forcing you to grow, because that's why you're here. You're here to be transformed from what you were to what you need to be, to what your nation needs you to be. Each and every one of you will earn your place here. This will not be given to you. And as you earn your place here and head toward graduation day, having earned it, you will have a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. And it will be meaningful to you. And as you depart this place, you will be proud of what you've accomplished.
At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Cancel Carlo.
Please join me for a moment of prayer and reflection. Divine Spirit, we gather in reverence and gratitude, acknowledging the profound significance of this ceremony. It marks the culmination of weeks of rigorous training, a testament to the dedication and perseverance of the airmen before us. We lift up the family and friends, both present and afar, whose countless prayers, words of encouragement, and steadfast support have been a source of strength for these airmen. Grant them comfort and continued fortitude as they journey alongside their loved ones in the years to come. We express our gratitude to the military training instructors whose tireless hours of dedication, guidance, and commitment have shaped the next generation of airmen. They have poured their hearts and souls into instilling the values of integrity, service, and excellence, preparing these airmen to be the leaders and warriors our nation needs. Divine Spirit, bless these airmen with enduring strength to meet the hardships of their duty as they serve our nation. Fortify their spirits with hope as they embrace the unknown challenges that lie ahead. May their service grant us peace and security, and may we forever remember their sacrifices as they elevate the Air Force to unprecedented heights and forge a new frontier of excellence. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Good morning. On behalf of the 37th Training Wing, we would like to introduce our distinguished guests. beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The commander, 737 Training Group, Colonel Billy Wilson, Jr. The senior enlisted leader, 737 Training Group, Chief Master Sergeant Whitfield Jack. The reviewing official, the commander, Colorado Air National Guard, Brigadier General Micah Fesler. Also in attendance with us today, Major General Don Farrell, United States Air Force, retired. The Deputy Adjutant General, Air Texas Military Department Joint Force Headquarters, Brigadier General Andrew Camacho. Brigadier General Dave Patterson, United States Air Force, retired. The Command Chief, Air Force District of Washington, and 320th Air Expeditionary Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Charmaine Kelly. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737 Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, prior to today's ceremony, we would like to recognize our newest military training instructors. These instructors have undergone a rigorous 5-month training pathway comprised of formal academic classes and task qualification requirements. They have earned the distinct honor of donning the dark blue campaign hat. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Keenan Attaway. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Infinity Mills. From the 321st Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Breanne Miller. From the 324th Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Brittany Richards. From the 324th Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Raymond Rasmussen. From the 324th Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Alexis Parker. From the 331st Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Garrett Thompson. At this time, we ask that all military training instructors, past and present, to stand in a sign of unity as our newest instructors recite the MTI Pledge. The military training instructor hat that I wear
is a symbol of honor, professionalism, integrity, service, and excellence in all I do. My job is one of the most important to the Air Force, and I will spare no effort to properly prepare men and women for military service. I am dedicated to the principles of fairness, firmness, and honesty. I strive for perfection and reject mediocrity, both in my own personal behavior and in the performance of those I lead. I am an Air Force military training instructor, and above all, I am an American Airman.
Present arms. Order arms. Post. Hard. Hard.
The dark blue campaign hat these instructors received today has been the symbol of the MTI Corps since 1974. These instructors will carry on the traditions and esprit de corps of the United States Air Force as they pass on their knowledge to our newest generation of airmen. Our commander of troops is Master Sergeant Damaris Strong. Brigadier General Micah Fesler will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation rooted in the Department of the Air Force's one team, one fight mantra. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and mission ready. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. (737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject: Honor Flight. The Honor Flight streamer is awarded to the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 238, for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 27 January 2025 through 14 March 2025. Signed, Billy Wilson Jr., Colonel, United States Air Force. The honor flight was led by Technical Sergeant Wiley and Staff Sergeant English. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States Armed Forces. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of musical honors. Thank you. Please be seated.
Staff, hors d'oeuvre, march! Staff, change post, march! Give your squadron order, march!
Staff, hors d'oeuvre, march! Hors d'oeuvre, hors d'oeuvre, march! Hors d'oeuvre, hors d'oeuvre, march!
The graduates passing in review today represent a portion of the 42,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 training group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest Air Force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the Airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass in review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Armed Forces during conflicts across the globe. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars, awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Passing in review, from the 319th Training Squadron, the Commander of Troops, Master Sergeant Damaris Strong, Military Training Instructor, hometown, McKeesport, Pennsylvania. The Drum and Bugle Corps, Drill Excellence Flights 226 and 227, led by Staff Sergeant Breanne Miller, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Portage, Ohio. From the 323rd Training Squadron, A Squadron Staff, led by Technical Sergeant Corey Peterson, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Detroit, Michigan. From the 331st Training Squadron, the Honor Flight and Dorm Excellence Flight, Flight 238, led by Technical Sergeant Arlen Wiley, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, York, South Carolina. From the 320th Training Squadron, Flight 224, led by Technical Sergeant Dennis Newman, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Flight 225, led by Technical Sergeant Brandon Divins, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Houston, Texas. From the 322nd Training Squadron, PT Excellence Flight, Flight 228, led by Staff Sergeant Keenan Attaway, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Linden, Texas. Flight 229, led by Technical Sergeant Infinity Mills, Military Training Instructor, hometown, DeRidder, Louisiana. Flight 230, led by Technical Sergeant Martin Inzunza, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Los Angeles, California. Pacer Forge Excellence Flight, Flight 231, led by Technical Sergeant Jacob Kime, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Mount Gilead, North Carolina. From the 324th Training Squadron, the Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant Robert Jessup, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Kennewick, Washington. From the 324th Training Squadron, the Flag Mass, Flights 234 and 235, led by Staff Sergeant Brittany Richards, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Wichita Falls, Texas. From the 321st Training Squadron, B Squadron Staff, led by Staff Sergeant Alan Grantham, Military Training Instructor, hometown Benton, Arkansas. From the 324th Training Squadron, Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 232, led by Staff Sergeant Alexis Parker, Military Training Instructor, hometown Charleston, South Carolina. Flight 233, led by Technical Sergeant Juan Romero Olmos, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Fort Worth, Texas. From the 326th Training Squadron, Flight 236, led by Technical Sergeant Valerie Jacobs, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Flight 237, led by Technical Sergeant Charles Scott, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Douglasville, Georgia. From the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 239, led by Staff Sergeant Garrett Thompson, Military Training Instructor, hometown Mesa, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the United States Air Force song. Thank you. You may be seated. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the Airmen from the 321st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Technical Sergeant Matthew Zettelmoyer, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Augusta, Georgia. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort demonstrates commitment and teamwork. With each Drum and Bugle Corps performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. we would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honored graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional integrity, service before self, and excellence, combined with character, commitment, connectivity, and courage they displayed through basic military training, earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to reflect on our establishment. The United States Air Force was born with the passage of the National Security Act on September 18, 1947. Since then, anytime and anywhere America and its allies have needed air power, airmen have answered the call. Today, with a legacy of excellence and a spirit of courage, we work to develop mission-ready airmen. With the support of the American people, our airmen are ready to meet these challenges by following the examples of those who came before us. In short, by innovating, accelerating, and thriving as we move into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Micah Fesler will now come forward and address our graduating class.
I just gotta stand here for a second and take this in. If this does not get you fired up, something has gotta be wrong with you. Look at this. Look at these warriors that are joining your United States Air Force. This is absolutely fantastic. Beautiful day, and I will say this, I recognize that I am the only thing right now standing between you and a hug with your loved ones. So I'm gonna be respectful of that today, but I do wanna tell you a little bit about the organization they're joining and about the team that they are on, the team that they're a part of, the team that we are all a part of here. But I gotta give a few thank yous first off. When I look out here at the future of the Air Force, I first and foremost have to thank you. Thank you for signing up, for being a part of this team, for being here right now. You are about to start the coolest journey of your entire life. And I am really lucky to be here, standing here, looking at you. Thank you for doing this. For all the MTIs that are out here and the entire Gateway Wing team, thank you. It takes a ton of people to put this whole thing together. The trainers, the MTIs here, made them the professional warriors they are right now. But there are civilians, there are other military members, there is an entire team of humans that were behind the 7.5 weeks that led to this right here today. And I'd like to take a second to thank them. Please give them a round of applause for their hard work. Now, most importantly, I want to thank everybody that I'm looking at here in the stands. The family members, the friends, the loved ones, nobody gets where they are alone. You are behind these airmen all the way from the beginning, and you're here to catch them when they go from trainee to airman, and I am stoked about that. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for making them into the humans that they are, that brought them to the place that they are today. And even more so, I want to thank you for trusting us with your loved ones, for entrusting us with them and their future, and I promise you, we will take good care of them. Let's give those family members a round of applause, and friends, and all those who got us here. So a couple quick stories. 108 years ago, not too far away from here, right over there at Kelly Field. At Kelly Field, the Airmen, like you, showed up and were preparing to go to war. They were part of the 103rd Aero Squadron, the first flying squadron in your United States Air Force. At that point in time, horses outnumbered cars 5-1. And these airmen were sitting there trying to figure out, how do I fix an airplane? How do I build a flying squadron? Most of them showed up for this training on a train or a horse and probably had not ever seen an airplane before. But they looked into that future and they took it on. They took on that challenge and they went to war as our very first fighting airmen, 108 years ago right here. These airmen, much like you, started in a journey, an adventure in which they were a part of something much bigger than themselves. They are the giants upon whose shoulders we stand. Fast forward about 40 years, our country didn't even have 50 states. Young airmen, like each and every one of you, paved the way for today's Guardians. When we hadn't even put a human in space, they put our nation's first spy satellites in space. These satellites went up into space, took pictures over enemy territory, and actually dropped canisters of film back to the Earth, and they were caught out of midair by Air Force airplanes. That miracle, at a point in time where TVs were black and white, people were still riding horses, and we were not anywhere close to we are today, is pretty amazing. You think about that. That miracle required airmen like each and every one of you. The airmen launched the rockets, exposed the film, dropped the film, caught the film, analyzed the intelligence, looked at every piece and part of that, wrote reports, and made the leaders of our country have the information they needed to make the difficult decisions they do every day. That was then. They went into an uncertain future, just like you are today. They couldn't even imagine what the world was going to look like when they started their journey to become a part of something bigger than themselves. See, our force has always been built from a foundation of teamwork, humans and machines working together to achieve the impossible, to do the unimaginable, and you are a part of that team. Make no mistake, we didn't get it right the first time always. In fact, that's one of my favorite things about the United States Air Force is we make mistakes, we figure them out, and we go back and fix them. We failed to catch the very first film canister that was dropped from space, and then we went back and figured out how to do it and caught every single one of them after that. That's your Air Force. And the reason why we're able to do that is that each and every one of you have the humility, the intellect, the resilience, and dedication that you've proven to be here today, to accept failure and to move forward, to do better tomorrow. Airmen like each of you who believed in each other as a team, believed in their training, believed they could get it right. For it's our warriors, just like you, that continue to deliver success time and time again. It's your turn now to face uncertainty and deliver success, as our predecessors have done for more than a century. One last anecdote. And it's nice, we got the sound of freedom right as we're going here. December 31st, 1944. And then, for very obvious reasons, unpopular commander refused to let his team party and celebrate the new year. He wanted to be ready for what the uncertainty of World War II was going to bring tomorrow in a small airfield in Belgium known as Y-23. Those airmen went about their duties, continued to do everything they do every day, and prepared for an uncertain future. The next morning, just after dawn, the Luftwaffe launched their last possible opportunity to attack in World War II. And this team, out of this one airfield in Belgium, was ready to meet that challenge. 900 aircraft were launched, and a small handful of airmen and a small handful of airplanes defeated that fight out of Osh, Belgium. Airmen just like you. Much like our unpopular New Year's Eve ruining commander, I can't tell you what tomorrow is going to look like. I can't even tell you what our next conflict will look like. But here's what I can tell you. It is New Year's Eve, and we don't have time to party. But that's okay. Because I can also tell you that I am confident in each and every one of you that you will rise to the challenge, that we will do so as a team, as we always do, and that you will forever take great pride and tell stories about being a part of something bigger than yourself. You're the next warriors to confidently face uncertainty and chart paths through things we can't even imagine. Welcome to the greatest air and space force humans have ever known. I am so incredibly proud to be standing here with each and every one of you, and I am confident that together as a team, we will face uncertainty and deliver success. Now, before we proceed, I have one question for you. Are you prepared to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space forces? I think they're ready.
Please stand as Brigadier General Micah Fesler will now administer the oath of enlistment. Instructors, place your flights at attention.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Thank you, Brigadier General Micah Fesler. Please remain standing while all graduating airmen recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American Airman. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute as the U.S. flags pass. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights. As a reminder, the flights are positioned as viewed from the bleachers to the left of the reviewing stands. Flights 238, 224, 225, 228, 229, 230, 231, and to the right of the reviewing stands, flights 232, 233, 236, 237, 239. Please remain in your seating area. The graduates will be dismissed momentarily. Town pass ends at 1800 hours. When dropping off